First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The kicker, Will Reichard, has the ball on the tee. And we are underway from Ford Field. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. Hot. 4 now.
First carry now for David Montgomery. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1. The Lions at 12-4 now on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Gone. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently second best in the NFL.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Now it's Goff. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 42. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Goff now to throw. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And a short gain here, down to the 22. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. This defense for the Vikings, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Here's Goff. Wide open receiver complete. And they got it inside the 10 at the 8. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early first and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, first and goal. A shotgun snap for Goff. And in for the Lions touchdown. Tim Patrick, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Lions get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, they spoke about the importance of getting off to a good start, and they're on their first drive, Charles, into the end zone for the touchdown.
And what an advantage for them. They're already clicking one drive in, didn't need to wait to get up to full speed. We had heard about the extra time they put in with each other, trying to learn each other's skills, what they like, the whole deal, and it paid off early in this one. I would expect them to keep firing on the next drive and keep that connection going.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. So first and 10 now from the 30. Here's Wilson to throw. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got him. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 23 yards on the play. Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. These two teams, you may remember, they met in Minnesota earlier in the year with the Vikings coming out victorious. So if they can win again here in Detroit, they'd pull off the season sweep. Second and 10. Throwing is Wilson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Not that time for Watkins, and it's third down. You talk about this Lions defense. There are 32 teams in the NFL, and they're just better than 50% of them at defending the pass, number 16 in the league.
So in prepping for this game, I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And
too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
Here's Wilson. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 35. The third down conversion is successful. Give him 12 yards that time. Now Wilson. He'll find Jones again, complete. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher, and that's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
To throw is Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Wilson. Going for it all. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Myles Garrett showing that athleticism as he gets in to make the play.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Goff now looks to throw. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Now Goff. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Goff. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on 1st down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Goff. He's got his target. That's complete. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Hard ball. Super. Okay.
They'll fake the give. Now Goff. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Patrick. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Back to throw. Goff. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 10.
DC. Two.
To the air again. Goff. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on third down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick six.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick sixes and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And you wonder, I mean, is it even possible, especially for the quarterback, to mentally reset after that quick of a turnaround?
Well, we're certainly going to find out, aren't we? Because that play will stay in your mind, but somehow you have to compartmentalize. Put it aside, pick yourself up, and get moving in the right direction.
Now 2nd and 9.
At the 30-yard line.
76, tell him. 76. 76, go tonight.
Out of the gun. Gone. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a first down.
That's good for the Lions. First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
11. 12.
Here's Goff. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Goff. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35.
14 yards. That's good for the Lions.
Goff. A short pass here taken in by Laporta. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up second down.
A 3-yard pickup.
Goff.
At the Vikings 32-yard line.
Looking for Wright, and he finds him. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
That's another Lions.
Throwing again is Goff. Throw left side complete. That's Montgomery. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Now it's Goff. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Now Goff on 3rd and goal. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And they'll opt not to return this, but since the ball did hit in the landing zone, this will come out to the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. Wow, a big mistake there. Late interception in this first half, and that could lead to a field goal try the other way.
Yeah, I think at this point you just had to say, let's take a knee and go in at the half and regroup. Let's just talk it over a little bit. I wonder, partner, was the analytics coach in his head a little bit? Maybe go ahead and press it and try and get some points? While the old school coach probably would have said, take the knee, let's get out of here.
Now we could see points the other way here. So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 40-yard line.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff, and the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
Now it's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
From the gun, it's Wilson. This one swung out here to Jones. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. To throw again is Wilson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. T.J. Hockenson, 32 yards. And the Vikings are an extra point away from capturing the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will put them on top here in the 3rd. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just already know our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
Now a 2nd and 10. Goff now to throw. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. That pick, his 9th on the season.
Remember when we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball and they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order? That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field? That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out there.
Exactly.
But the 9 picks
9
you
picks, you want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season. After the interception, here's Wilson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now it's Wilson. That is caught, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Mecole Hardman, 31 yards. And the Vikings take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is up to 8. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Open man right side is St. Brown. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Goff to St. Brown for the Detroit first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Flush to his right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Goff now looks to throw. To the sideline and incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Bates' kick is good, and that'll get the lead down to 5. He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these threes into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes in and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 40, right around the 39, so solid starting field position. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now Wilson. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Aiden Hutchinson
In there to get him. It's a loss of 5. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Za'Darius Smith providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Taken in at the 22.
And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive...
And yet again, Goff is intercepted.
Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Wilson to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
Third quarter action here, this regular season finale. This will be 2nd and 10.
Here's Wilson. Completes it to Hardman. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Play action. Now Wilson. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now.
And the Vikings are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth quarter advantage.
Point after, right down the middle. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
At the 19-yard line.
Now Goff. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
12.
Here's Goff. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Hey, 5.
Let's get out of here with a win.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Roll the boys. Time to go get the
They go ahead and snap it. Goff. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Mekhi Blackman's got it. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. In motion goes the tight end. Now Wilson.
He'll get that complete to Alberto.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Quez Watkins.
39 yards.
And the Vikings extend their fourth quarter lead, and they are closing in now on a 14-win campaign.
Lions 16. Will Riker to kick off for the Vikings.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40.
Kick over 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
96-yard line.
Tiger, Tiger.
In motion goes Patrick.
Off play action. Here's Goff.
He'll go right back to St. Brown.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Go, 76. 70, Ric Flair. Turbo.
Now it's Goff. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not.
Touchdown! Sam Laporta, a 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Lions have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept him out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on him. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
And that's caught at the 2. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wilson. His throw incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And the lead will hold at 13. Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams, 49 yards. And the Lions have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. They'll try to run some clock now with Jones. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Second down, another shot for Jones. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. Again, it's Jones. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Here's a give to Jones running left. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Here's Wilson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. An inside give to Jones.
And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That first down going to be enough to write a finish to this one.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
So with your team leading in the 4th quarter, you know you've got to run the football. They know you've got to run the football. Sometimes that means there's nowhere to run the football.
2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Wilson wants to throw it. Steps away. Jones breaking from the contact. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. And it's caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1.
That was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
About a half yard from the end zone, 3rd and goal.
This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. Here's 1st and 10.
Goff now to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The way he's thrown the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions, and that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
And his throw is incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. One incompletion, two incompletion. They're going for more.
This definitely four-down territory at this point, but a critical third down here. Now Goff. St. Brown on the catch. And he is going to be brought down. And now making matters more dire, this is going to be fourth down.
It's fourth down.
Now it's Goff. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Throwing now is Wilson. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Vikings, they get yet another victory to finish the year at 14-3 overall. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they finish up the regular season with a mark of 12-5. And now they'll have to see how the final playoff picture